All right, good morning, everyone. This morning, we're going to be going over a prioritization exercise to help figure out our top priorities. And additionally, we're going to be going over a gratitude exercise because when we have gratitude and we have our priorities straight, it makes it so much easier to get a lot more done. Enjoy the morning show. Financially free and enjoy more of what the world has to offer. Action one, because this is where most human beings screw the pooch. So a little one-person trampoline, very I screen shared it. Like, there's no excuse. Like, phone numbers are just out there. You just got to pick up the phone, smile, and dial. So. Good morning, and welcome back to another episode of the Talk Tanner Morning Show, where we go over tips, tricks, ideas, and exercise to help make you the absolute best entrepreneur you can be. Not only for yourself, but for the people you love and care about most. You know the tagline of our business. Good morning. Thanks for tuning into the show this morning. And today we're going to be talking about priorities, and we're going to be talking about gratitude. So let's go ahead and get onto the board. Well, actually, I'm going to be using the board to go through the exercise themselves, so I'm going to save the space. But again, we're going to be going a prioritization exercise. We want to be able to figure out our top priorities. And additionally, a pro bono, we're doing a little gratitude exercise. These involve 3 steps, 2 steps. These are very simple exercises, but these are one of the most helpful that we can do and we can endure. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Good morning. So, okay, prioritization, 3 steps. First, we're going to make a list of everything you believe is important. We're going to just do a rough list of what you believe is important. And before we get into this, maybe this is a good framing question to kind of help us on the whole framing of what is most important to us is, what if everything was taken away? If I came to your house, say some type of world epidemic is going on and everything is collapsing and everything was taken away from you, what would you miss? So if we kept this context, let's go ahead and get to the board and write out what would we miss if everything was taken away. Because I was trying to think of this game. So there's an exercise called mental subtraction where you pretend that something that you have in your life, poof, gone forever. And then it shows if you really do miss it, then it means something to us. So we're going to put priorities. We're going to start with priorities. Okay. And so we're going to be making our list of priorities. What is most important to you? I would say my family. Family is probably up there. We got to say my career. I would say my health. I would say my car, priorities. Having my car functioning. Say my friends. I would say food. So, okay, we got a list of priorities. So whatever is on your list, you can try and think of responsibilities, or you can think of bigger categories such as this. And then now after step 1, we kind of make a list of what's important. So back to step 1. So we're making a list of everything you believe is important. And then step number 2, we're going to rank these in order of importance. So I'm trying to think, okay, what is between my career, my family, my health? I'd say my health is number 1, because without my health, nothing else is possible. I can't work on my career. I can't go see and hang out with my family. So I'd say my health is number 1. My number 2 would probably be my family. And included within my family, I would put my relationship. Relationship, I would say, with my amazing, wonderful girlfriend. Shout out to her as always. And she's within probably the family part of it. And then number 3 would be my career. Number 4 would be friends. And I would put my number 5 would be maybe my car. And then my food, I would just kind of attach that to my health. So the foods that I eat, the nutrition that I'm putting into my body, I would just put that under the category of health. So now we have under number 1, we are able to identify. Now we want to rewrite and identify an action step to improve each. So say you have listed out a list of priorities that take priority in your life. And now we want to pick the top 3. There's a really good quote. I can't remember for the life of me. It might have been James Clear. I can't think of the author's name. Oh, it's Jim Collins from the book Good to Great. And he talks about how if you have more than 3 priorities, you do not have any priorities at all. So we don't want too big of a list on this to get to this last part, and that's identifying an action item for this. So we have here our top 3 priorities would be our health, our family, and our career. Now the exercise is for us to identify an action item. So let's go ahead and write over here, action item. We want to be able to identify an action item this morning on what we can do to benefit. For my family, I could make a call. Just pick up the cell phone, call a family member, call your kids, call your parents, call your cousins. Who haven't you talked to in a while with your family that maybe you could send them a sweet text message, or you could buy them a gift or something along those lines. So thinking of an action item that we could do, I'm helping take care of my grandfather right now, and just going over there, saying hello, talking about what he wants to talk about. He loves these older shows, like older Western films, like Andy Griffin, Sam Elliott, and what is that? Like Tom Selleck and all these people. Really cool actors, yada, yada. And we're just watching it and hanging out for a minute. But just giving that a little bit of family time can go a long way. So thinking of an action item for your family. And again, these are my top priorities. They may be different for you, or your priorities may be a little more specific than something broad like career. Maybe it could be a certain position you're chasing after, a promotion that you want, whatever is helpful to you. So under next for career, what's an action item I can do for my career is right after this show is done, we are going to blast right into my class, the one-page life plan course. So if you're interested in taking a course with me, that's the main product that I offer. It's a 7-week-long class. And but I need to get a few more tutorial videos done. So as soon as this is done, I'm going to get some coffee. I'm going to get some water. And then boom, I'm going to come right back to the computer. I'm going to take one step forward. So for career, it would be tutorials. It's a real pain in the ass to write with this chalk when it gets real small. So apologies. So we wanted to do some tutorials. That's our action item for career. Thinking of what it is for your second priority. This is number 3 on my list. And number 1, my health. So what action item am I going to take for my health today? So for you, maybe your health is of more importance. Maybe you want to eat a particular type of food. Maybe you want to get outside and touch some grass. Maybe you want to get outside and get a little sunshine before it's I live in the Midwest, and when the sunshine is taken from us in the wintertime, it makes it a little tougher for me. We got to be doing a few extra breathing exercises to get through that shit. So health, what do you want to do for your health today? What is an action item? So this was the priorities exercise. It's a fun one. It's easy. It takes like 10 minutes, and it just pulls our attention to what actually matters. Because if the bad men were to come and they were to take absolutely everything away, what would you miss? Would you miss a fine drink that you get to enjoy? Would you miss a certain meal that you get to enjoy? Would you miss your family? Would you miss your career? What would you miss? And understanding these, I think, can be really helpful for remembering what's important. We get consumed by so much bullshit that just doesn't matter, that it drives us insane. And that's what makes people so crazy. There's these tiny little details of life that mean absolutely nothing, and they consume our mind for the rest of the day. And that's not what we want to do this morning. So, okay, now we're on to the gratitude exercise. This one's 2 steps, 1 step less. If we're staying along, you're following with me. So, gratitude exercise. And this one just requires a notebook. If I got my handy dandy notebook over here. Good morning, everyone. Hope you're all having a great morning. And for the gratitude exercise, you're just going to get out a piece of paper. These notebooks cost literally $1 at the store. Don't hesitate. There's no excuse not to get these. Oops, sorry, I knocked over my banner. Okay. And we're on to step number 1. So you're going to get out a handy dandy piece of paper. This is super great exercise. You can do this also if you don't have a big board like this. You can do it on a piece of paper as well. That's all we need. The tools we need: a paper, piece of paper, and a pen. And then you're going to write out 3 things you're grateful for. 3 things you're grateful for. Maybe it's your kids. Maybe it's your family. Maybe it's your health. Maybe you see how some of this stuff's starting to overlap, but we're trying to pay as much quality attention to the shit that actually matters so we can cut the crap that doesn't. So we write out the 3 things that we're really grateful for to put ourselves in a state of joy. So we're going to write out 3 things you're grateful for. And then that comes up to step number 2. This one, a lot of people struggle with. Don't get me wrong. Love someone who's humble, love someone who doesn't talk about themselves incessantly to the point that, we just don't want to listen anymore. But when it comes to journaling, when it comes to reflection, when it comes to gratitude, this one I think is a very powerful step. So after you write out 3 things you're grateful for, I want you to write out 1 thing that you love about yourself. 1 thing that you love about yourself, because there's some crazy rule about love that never really understood until falling in love with somebody else, or really falling in love with myself. There's a level of we need to, if you do not love yourself, you cannot love other people. If you do not love yourself, it's impossible to love other people. Because when people are in pain and they feel hurt, they hurt other people. When you think of that asshole who's just out there to get everyone and being a total piece of crap, and usually he's got something going on in life. Maybe he lost his wife. Maybe he lost a kid. Maybe he's his health or whatever's going on. There's usually an explanation when someone's being a total piece of crap. So we want to be able to write out 1 thing to just remind ourselves this morning. I'm a big believer in momentum. So if we can start our mornings off right, if we can understand our priorities like we put in the first exercise, we're making our lists, we're ranking them, we're getting those action items out. And then also we can just understand what we're grateful for. I think it can be a lot more enjoyable. And just all we got is our attention. Thinking of the Eastern philosophies, they talk about how our reality is this spotlight. You're in a dark room, you have a flashlight, and you can only see one spot. The mind works the exact same way. We can't focus at 2 things at once. You can't have 2 thoughts at one time. So if we can consume our mind and force ourselves to enjoy and to think about things that we love and that we care about most, I think it can make life a whole lot better. That's all I really had this morning. I think keeping this as a back pocket question is always good. So what if everything was taken away? The bad intruders, we live in America, and it's actually a very real reality that things can be taken away from people in a flash. If anyone's read a history book, they see that this is very true. So we are not guaranteed to live amazing, fantastic lives for the rest of our days. Say for hypothetical examples, and for this exercise, again, everything was taken away from you. What would you miss most? What would you miss? I know I would miss deep down my family. I'd missed out. I missed working on this in my career and so many other things. So good back pocket question to keep. What if everything was taken away? But that's all I have for this morning. This was uncovering what truly matters. Because if we can focus on what matters, we can let go of the stuff that doesn't. And all we have is our attention. Big proponent of that. My name is Tanner Dewitt. I am a life and business coach, and I teach a class called the One Page Life Plan. If you're interested, please don't hesitate to reach out to me about class start times. Other than that, know your priorities and gratitude, episode 356. And in case you needed to hear it today, I love you. You're a badass. You got this. Let's get those action items written out for our priorities. And let's get it rocking and rolling, baby. You guys have an enjoyable rest of your Wednesday. I got to bounce. I got stuff to do myself. So cheers to that, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bright and early, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time with another episode of the Talk Tanner Morning Show. Cheers, friends. Peace.